Welcome live to Coach's Corner NYC. Ralph Bjarczyk on hand with you from Randall's Island, just underneath the Triborough Bridge, the RFK Bridge, where we bring you the Manhattan Kickers. They take on the Hoboken FC 1912. Hoboken FC in the white on blue. The Manhattan Kickers rode Navy on Navy, and we're just underway in the third minute, no score. Manhattan coming in off a 2-2 tie against Zoom Schneider FC. In their first game, Hoboken clubbing Kelmendi FC 5-0 in their opening game. This is just game 2 for both sides in Division 1 of the Cosmopolitan League. Hoboken FC in the white left to right in their 4-3-3 alignment. As this ball gets through Torek Robinson on the pushback, and the Kickers will see the ball tossed over for Hoboken and head coach Steve Corfiatis. Graduate from the University of Delaware, loves soccer, and spent a lot of time recruiting this group along with his general manager and a player off the reserves team, Mikhail Atong. And this is a team that they hope will be consistent with their skill set throughout the course of the year and to try to win a championship. Ball settled with Tenzin Yugyal, the holding mid for the Manhattan Kickers, and they play in a 4-4-2 alignment with interchangeable holding mid and center attacking mid. So a little bit different philosophies, a bit from both sides. They're swooping in as Fook Liao, the right mid for Manhattan. Dealt back for Hoboken, who so far have had the possession advantage as we get going here on what is a brisk evening. The captain, the right back, Eric Terzer, continued his run and dealt back along for Evan Reed, one of the two center backs. Reed, along with Jake Longo, the center backs, the right back, Eric Terzer, the left back, Zachary Simmering of Scotch Plains, New Jersey, as this ball will be belonging to a goal kick for Jordan Williams. The rest of the Hoboken starters, Kevin Bisdek, the center attacking mid, with Peter Luther underneath him as the holding. And the other center attacking mid, Eric Stolley. Up top, Joseph Braun, the center forward. On the right, Kevin Halliday. On the left, James Reed. So the Reed brothers both on the field. And we'll get to the Kickers lineup momentarily in front of goalkeeper Jordan Williams, a product out of Mercy College in Dobbs Ferry. There's a nice challenge there by Peter Luther. Luther nearly won the ball cleanly. Fook Liao eventually to settle for the Kickers. And Liao will look for the outlet. Past Robinson at a clearance for the Kickers as they play it down. For the Kickers, they play out of that 4-4-2, as I mentioned. Chris Wayne Wallace and Jean-Baptiste Thomas Laloupe are the center backs. The right back, Connor Meath. The left back, Mikhail Joni. In front of them, the holding mid, Torek Robinson, with Tenzin Yugyal. On the left, Daniel Barry. And on the right, Fook Liao. Up top, Mohamed Mohammadi and Brian Morris, the two strikers. Robinson, and the late challenge there in the foul against Peter Luther. So a chance to exhale for Manhattan and to get some numbers forward. David Ramo, our center referee, doing the honors tonight. Game time temperatures right around, now drifting down to about 79 degrees. As we play now into the 7th minute, no score, Manhattan and Hoboken. So the Kickers played it short, and now they look to go wide and to try to find their outside midfielder, Daniel Barry. And that's out of range of Barry. It'll be a throw coming up for Hoboken FC. Braun, he's the target man, and he's fouled. At 6'5", Joseph Braun scored a goal, one of the 5 that Hoboken tallied in their opener. And he was a part of back-to-back national championships with Tufts at the Division III level, the Tufts Jumbos, 2019 and 2018, including the undefeated national championship winning team in 2018, a team that finished 18-0-3 a 10-goal junior year for Joseph Braun. He is a true target guy on restarts like this one. Except Hoboken will play it short and look to build up from the back. Zachary Simmering, the left back. And the offside flag is up. It is a 2 official system in the Cosmopolitan League Division 1. So we'll get a restart for Jordan Williams. Jordan Williams playing for Mercy College head coach Pedro Velasquez up in Dobbs Ferry, and part of Mercy College teams that made their first ever national ranking appearances in Division 2. As Williams distributed short, and it's turned over. And the opportunity to counter now for Hoboken. Williams coming out, and the hard challenge, however, the offside flag is up. Well, nearly a costly turnover for the kickers. And Williams, aggressive off of his line, got there, and then cut down the angle. So we'll get another restart in the 18, as we are in the 10th minute, no score. And a long ball ahead for Daniel Barry, and Barry with Simmering, and Simmering has to give up the corner. So a great transition for the kickers, and they were able to catch Hoboken caught upfield too much. And the question for the kickers will be, and for head coach Brian Baracaldo, is can they get some good service here? They've got a couple of good target guys up front, and they'll line this one up, getting both center backs into the picture. And the first corner does not beat the first defender, Ugyal. And from the outside, his second counter is blocked back. Morris the other way. As Morris lays it in, and excellent defending, team defending by Hoboken. So the kickers to regroup. Joni, the left back. Space for Liao as he looked to go back across and find Daniel Barry again, who's been the speed for the kickers here in these opening 10 minutes. And to transition, Kevin Bizdek. And Bizdek sends a nice looping ball across that will only get to Jordan Williams, but a good idea to try to find a nice cross, as looks like Jordan Simmering is in the starting lineup as well as a last-second change for Steve Korfianis. Into the 11th minute. One corner so far, one dangerous near opportunity for Hoboken did not materialize due to an offside. And Ugyal has to deal it back. And the pass for the holding mid, Torek Robinson again turned over. Opportunity, Simmering. Simmering to settle it in on Williams, and he just misses the shot. Well, patience there for Jordan Simmering. He and his twin brother Zachary is the left back, both from Scotch Plains, New Jersey, in the powerhouse known as Scotch Plains Fanwood, and both playing at Muhlenberg. That did not miss by much. Well, Simmering really took his time on the approach. Everything was correct except for the location. We'll get a Manhattan substitution as Brett Rojas will come in, replacing Torek Robinson at holding mid. So Brian Baracaldo is trying to find some better possession and touches. Williams releasing. So the game's first great scoring chance coming in the 12th minute for Hoboken. Zach Simmering. And we'll go back to the keeper, Tyler Poggiogale. Played in the club team at the University of Delaware. That's Evan Reed, 15 in white. 4-year Division I player at Delaware. Chris Wayne Wallace leads for Jordan Williams. And the kickers, can they build out from the back? Here's a high press coming from Hoboken. Simmering headed it down. Chance to run forward for Mohammadi. And Bizdek will blast it here near side for Jordan Simmering. Nice touch coming from Wallace. toss for Hoboken.
And then use it as the trigger to press.
Reed had Braun as his target man, and the foul will be called. So there's the impact of Jordan Brown. Brown had Chris Wayne Wallace sealed behind him, and here comes the game's first quality restart. Now, Joseph Braun was a first-team All-American in 2018, leading a Tufts offense that scored 46 goals when they went 18-0-3, winning that first national championship in the back-to-back 2018. Tufts would go on to win 3 national championships in a 5-year span in D3. Zach Simmering over the ball, looking at a 3-person wall. And his restart, Williams did get a touch on it. Well, Williams would have been better off allowing it to go. That was well off target. Braun was not really in any position. So Hoboken gets the benefit of a free corner out of this. And this is going to be Zach Simmering on the approach. And did not beat the first defender. For the second ball, Simmering back in. And it has to be played out off the chest of Mikhail Joni. And the Simmering's almost connected there as Jordan Simmering was waiting for it underneath to touch it in.
Can we find Pete? Hey, Zach.
So here comes the second corner. Jordan Simmering now with an outswinger. And handled well defensively for the Kickers. Head ball won, I think, by Brett Rojas. Second ball. And eventually the Kickers can exhale here. Into the 16th minute, no score. So far, Hoboken FC the better of the chances. Space to push for Brian Morris. Morris played for the early Dave Mazur teams at St. John's University. Rojas finds a seam. Liao, and back in front. And first time a chance to counter for Hoboken, with Brown making the run through the middle, and then the breakup inside. Oh, good defending, good step up by Chris Wayne Wallace. That time to take away space. Room for Tenzin Ugyal, he's dispossessed. And Hoboken with a nice killer ball for Brown. Joseph Braun. And Braun will slip the pass along for Jordan Simmering. Simmering will recover. Then the return for Simmering, and Hoboken had options there. They had Joseph Braun inside expecting some kind of service, but it never happened. So the Hoboken high press has been effective. And can Manhattan string passes together and hurt Hoboken on the backside like here? And that is a good ball out wide, sent to the right back, and some space out wide for Connor Meath. Meath laid it across. Morris settles inside the 18. Morris now attacking the end line. Had to be cleared off. Evan Reed heading it forward. But that was a fine ball delivered, and the cross to Connor Meath, and that sprung the Kickers. Rojas. Ugyal for Daniel Barry. And back into the picture again is the right back, and then a nice cross sent in. It's just off, and the best scoring chance for Manhattan is there. So that was the best sequence as Connor Meath delivered a fine ball. Fine ball, the Mohamed Mohammadi. If he gets it anywhere on frame, it's probably in. So we approach the 19th minute. No score. And now can the Manhattan Kickers press be effective? and disrupt Hoboken in this first half. Zach Simmering, the connection for Jordan Simmering. He gets himself back onside before the breakup, and Mikel Joni worked it ahead, and Mohammadi is fouled as he is lassoed down, says our official Dave Ramo. So the Kickers have weathered a couple of storms. A great look in the 11th minute by Jordan Simmering, and then a couple of ensuing corners. And the Kickers finding their own opportunity just a minute ago from Mohammadi. As Ugal delivers service, Jake Longo, the other center back, working with Evan Reed. Braun was the target man and left it, and this one swung for Jordan Simmering. Braun staying onside. And that ball will go. I did not catch if it was pointed to a throw. It is a corner after all. So the third corner of this first half.
Jordan, we need one more. One more in front of you. First.
So Zach Simmering will send this in. Both of the previous corners from Jordan and Zachary Simmering did not beat the first offender. And this ball again does not beat the first defender, so well defended by the Kickers with the first man along the near post. Resettled back in and floated by Kevin Bizdek. Now Brian Morris. Ugal, as he looked long and delivers a fine ball, again out wide for Meath. And it's going to be a Hoboken toss. Well, Manhattan's best opportunity to build up have been long switches, and those have materialized. And a nice challenge in the middle. Liao could not connect on it. Then the shot from the outside on the move, and letting that go is Tenzin Ugal. That's a good look that Poggiali had a good look at. Third shot for Manhattan. Twenty-second minute first half, no score. Longo, and now Evan Reed. And Morris not exactly pressing too high up on the center backs. And the Kickers looking to be anticipating the next pass, as now the offside flag is up as Hoboken tried a long switch. Morris, good patience with Rojas. And this is much better from the Kickers to get some more numbers forward. Jean-Baptiste Thomas Leloup as he played it far side. Barry pursues, and Daniel Barry will lay it down. Meath, the right back, getting great width and distance. Back out Morris. As Morris makes the run off ball. And the Kickers looking to play Morris through. Now it comes to the outside. Barry. Patience for Meath. The return inside for Morris. And he was looking for the ball more at the top of the box. Battle for the next ball before eventually it is cleared by Zachary Simmering. 24th minute, no score. Mikel Joni. And well defended, a chance for Hoboken to sprint forward. As that long ball pushed ahead, Braun. Braun will go out wide to his left. Numbers in the box for Hoboken. This service, that's blocked off of a body. And able to get back in defensively, the kickers. Well, there was an opportunity there. As Peter Luther, along with Braun, both had opportunities maybe to settle the ball and get a secondary man or a trailer in it on this near side. But here's some good work done again. Another service, and that was off the body of Braun. Settled for Simmering, Simmering firing, and Williams the save. Jordan Simmering with his second quality opportunity. The last one just went wide, and this one Williams was able to get into a recovery position and make the save. So a 25th minute chance for Hoboken after that long run created by Peter Luther. Luther, a 2020 Muhlenberg graduate, 44 starts out of his 50 career games played there. Primarily he was a holding mid during his time there. As this is a ball for Eric Terzer, the captain of Hoboken, that's out of range. Couple of subs for Manhattan as Kyle Brady will come in. And also Urim Bibovic as the second sub. For the final 19 minutes of this first half. Morris, and Morris is fouled by Evan Reed. Well, now are they going to back it up that the ball never landed inbounds, says Dave Raymore, our center referee. Or he's going to back the throw up and redo the throw, but it will stay with Manhattan. And a sub in for Hoboken FC as Sean Fahey comes back in. Last played for the team 4 years ago. Just recently passed the bar exam. Congratulations to Sean. So he is on as a sub as Braun brings that ball down. And then a takeaway opportunity for Mohammadi. Mohammadi attacking, backing off defenders, then takes the shot. Save is made with the right hand. Tyler Pojogali with a fine stop. After Mohammadi lined up his defender well, getting back in the hole to defend was Peter Luther to force the shot to be floated, and Pojogali still handled it well. First corner for Manhattan. 2 grade A chances for the kickers. This ball handled by Evan Reed. Second ball, Morris. Fugliao as he goes across, and he did not have the runner. Over the top, Braun. Braun connecting, Luther. As he swung it wide for James Reed, the left forward. Settled down by Kyle Brady and eventually cleared further up the line. Nice job challenging forward Jake Longo. And the ball staying with Hoboken. Luther. And Braun was looking further inside. Good thought, though, from Peter Luther. Luther, as a freshman in 2016, was the leading scorer for Division III Muhlenberg playing in the Centennial Conference. The Muhlenberg Mules, and he is from the central New Jersey area, playing in the Colonial Valley Conference at Princeton High School. He, along with the right forward Kevin Halliday, that we'll see play for Hoboken, and both now continuing their careers here at the best amateur league in the tri-state area by far, perhaps the best that the nation has to offer, the Cosmopolitan League. 29th minute, no score. And they fetched a soccer ball on the far side. And Wallace for Bibovic. And Urim Bivovic. Terzer read the run. A takeover. Transition opportunity. Eric Terzer out wide. Terzer with the service. It's off of Rojas. And it'll be a corner for Hoboken. So the good read coming from Eric Terzer. And the push forward in Hoboken. Several times in this first half, they've turned over the kickers and created transition. Fourth corner for Hoboken. And again, they'll summon Zachary Simmering for the corner. This ball again in the vicinity of Braun. That was his best opportunity. Second ball, Bizdek. And the ball is out, says our center referee. It'll be a goal kick for Williams. So fine ball delivered by Simmering. And in the 31st minute, the kickers, they've had 2 grade A chances. Hoboken has had, probably would call 3, as Braun will exit. And Kevin Halliday will replace him up top. Halliday started at Princeton High School and also played at Tufts. That's Rojas. Longo in the air. Luther moves it along. And Reed kept it alive, and Hoboken finally a chance to settle it. Out wide, Liao, and Liao is on this loose ball. Fook Liao waits for some support, has Bibovic. Morris, and Bibovic is able to read his teammate. And Hoboken eventually will turn over the kickers. So Sean Fahey fouled. And Hoboken can get some more numbers forward. Ball for James Reed. James Reed brings it down and got a good shot off the left foot. Perhaps surprising Williams that he took the shot so quickly. A nice settle for James Reed. Played at St. Bonaventure. His brother Evan Reed, the center back at Delaware. Throw coming for Hoboken as they press for the game's first. As Morris tried to check back, and high pressure again from Fahey. Terzer won it and eventually secured to the feet of Luther. And Hoboken to deal it back and play through their captain, who played at Northwestern on the club team in Evanston, Illinois. Ball flicked through. Reed almost got it perfectly. Fahey the follow-up. Fahey releasing. Ball at the top. Room for James Reed. Reed taking defenders out wide, then sprays it across. He challenged the back post, and Williams had to make a reactionary save. Well, that's two good sequences that James Reed showed some nice patience and then eventually attacked. And the first defender, Connor Meath, again getting in the way of it along the goal line extended and near post. So Hoboken has to resort to a deep throw. The field looks, of course, different for Hoboken without Braun on the field. And they'll play this one shorter rather than look to flick on. This ball entered in. Williams could only punch in it. No one there in the mixer for a follow-up. Now Luther to try to step up into a shot, and he was veered off. Nice defending by Mohamed Mohammadi. And the way Mohammadi just got in the way of Luther and kept up with his mark, that was a small detail there by Mohamed. He prevented a good shot from Luther from the outside. 35th minute, scoreless, first half. Tonight from the Cosmopolitan League, Division 1. Ralph Bednarczyk with you on Coach's Corner NYC on YouTube. Reed on a loose ball from the top. Swung it around. Williams comes out to deny the angle and make the save. Stopping Kevin Bizdek. Or make that rather, that was 9 Halliday with the opportunity. Well, unselfish there from James Reed. Halliday probably on the first touch may have hurt his angle rather than just a quick touch into the opposite corner against the odd rushing Williams. Well, we have a player shaken up for Manhattan. Well, what a great opportunity for Kevin Halliday. So Manhattan does have to make a substitution as Torek Robinson back in. And the Manhattan player shaken up is able to come off the field under his own power. And that's Tenzin Yugyal. So straight up switch at holding mid. Another turnover. Reed touches it along and has it. Another costly turnover, and this one Hoboken deposits. James Reed, over the last 10 minutes, has been the best man on the field. Reed, that time, no hesitation, calmly slipping it past Williams, and it's 1-0 Hoboken FC. A 38th minute goal for Reed. Well, it appeared it was inevitable. The way the kickers were turning the ball over in the early going before settling in. And then Reed, over the last 10 minutes, continued to be a magnet for the ball and good chances. Ball for Fahey, and Williams calls off his defenders. So the kickers, they had two great opportunities as Terzer stepped up high.
Keep working, keep working, keep working.
Pogiogali had made a pretty good save on. And this has been the area for the kickers, connecting the second and third passes as Rojas. And Rojas under duress turns it over to Reed. James Reed, a back heel for Fahey. Fahey looked to slip the ball backside. Great idea, but it was cut off and well defended by Meath. And finally for Phuc Liao. And this ball floats across for Thomas Leloup. It was actually Leloup that defended that nice ball from Fahey. That could have led to another walk-in for Hoboken FC. And the foul as Morris draws it, and a chance for Manhattan to get some more numbers forward and just get out of their defensive third. This ball carried through, that's last touched by Hoboken. So the kickers with a throw in the 40th minute, first half. James Reed the goal, and the advantage for Hoboken. For Reed, his first of the season. This ball settled, and Pogiogali able to see it well. Staying to the near post, makes the save on Mohammadi. So a good response for the kickers to build up that possession. They go for it again with Brett Rojas carrying. Rojas leaves it out wide. Another service coming in for Morris, and Morris was challenged and defended on the head ball. Evan Reed in the vicinity. Hoboken with Kevin Halliday. James Reed. And the ball further to the wide side of him. So Thomas Leloup played it along for Williams.
Well done! Great job, boys. Well done.
Rojas was able to win it outside, spin it forward. Meath chips over the top for Mohammadi. And the ball took a spin out of his range and momentum, where Luther can settle it back for Hoboken in the 42nd minute. Official time is kept by our center referee, Dave Ramo. Should be just about on his number. Stahl back for Longo. Jordan Simmering as he tries to get outside of Connor Meath. And we'll get a substitution for Hoboken as James Reed heads off, be replaced by Aitor Hernandez, who is in the U.S. from Barcelona, right now working as an au pair locally. As Reed heads off, so Hernandez replaces him up top for these final few minutes of the first half. Morris, look how deep he has to check back for it. And Williams along for Thomas Leloup. As Williams went down the middle, good ball for Mohammadi. And Mohammadi chips it well for Leao. Leao, that was a good bit of skill from Mohammadi as it was switched ahead, but only Jordan Simmering in position for Hoboken FC. into the 44th minute at 1-0. Hoboken FC, a goal coming in the 38th minute from James Reed is the story. Now the long connecting pass, Fahey to try to stretch the kickers out. Across for Eric Terzer, well defended by Urim Bibovic. And Rojas, who has certainly calmed the game a bit more for the kickers upon coming in after the early minutes. Now a ball for Morris, one touch. Morris then took the shot, and he would have loved to have done better. He made it easy for Tyler Poggiogale. Great touch from Mohammadi, and Morris, the first touch, kept it in front of him, but just did not get his weight behind it or force Poggiogale to move. So a third great scoring chance for the kickers. The other way, Hoboken. Aitor Hernandez and his shot blocked. So Urim Bibovic was able to get in the way of it. Hernandez dispossessed. Fahey, and the foul will be either, I think it's Hernandez, the advantage was given. So this will be a restart just off the corner 18. So a look for Kevin Halliday. Manhattan putting two on the wall. Williams on alert and goal. And Williams couldn't reach it. Loose ball, though it came to the far post and was pushed wide. So off of a little deflection, it ended up finding a Hoboken player. And it'll be a deep defensive throw for the kickers. That shot came from Peter Luther. And the kickers throw it out of bounds in their own deep defensive third. But I guess they're going to give him a do-over, and now will allow them to toss it in. So we should be in the 45th minute, and indeed we were. That's it for the first half. James Reed finishes off a turnover by the kickers deep in their defensive third. Reed in the 38th, unassisted, makes it 1-0. Hoboken FC looking to move to 2-0 on this fall Cosmopolitan League season. We'll be back in 10 minutes to bring you the second half on Coach's Corner NYC on YouTube. It's 1-0 Hoboken FC, 1912 over the Manhattan Kickers. Tonight from Randall's Island, Field 70. Ralph Bednarczyk with you as the second half begins. White on blue for Hoboken FC, Manhattan navy on navy. Hoboken able to break the scoreless tie in the 38th minute on a James Reed goal. And Hoboken's high press was particularly effective, and just forcing Manhattan to be in disadvantaged positions in terms of attempting crosses and just not being able to make passes in an attacking mindset. And they were just delivering clearances rather than balls ahead designed to attack. So credit Steve Corfiatis and Hoboken and his system, as this is a ball chipped from Tyler Poggiogale, and it's Manhattan to turn over Hoboken. Left to right for Manhattan in this second half. Kevin Halliday delivers a nice ball ahead, looking for the right back Eric Terzer. And we'll get a foul against Manhattan at midfield. Jordan Williams still in goal for Manhattan. Tyler Poggiogale on the other side as this ball is played back to Williams. And sent out by Manhattan, and they will try the high press themselves as Longo with Mohammadi at the top. 4-4-2 remains for Manhattan. Evan Reed tries to stretch the field and delivers a long ball out wide, looking for Dimitri Mataras. Mataras, a Montclair State graduate in the spring. 6 games played, 1 start in the abbreviated season. This is Torek Robinson, and he's able to turn. Plays it ahead, looking for Kyle Brady, but not much on it, and the pass handled by Zachary Simmering. Turned over, though. Mohammadi looking to play Brett Rojas through. Space down the middle, and a nice ball onside for Zachary Simmering. Simmering, the left back, out ahead. Toes it along for Reed, and I'm looking for the other official, and it appears the offside flag was signaled. The second official was behind me, so that's the center referee that made the offside call. And an argument from Hoboken, I think that Steve Corfiatis may have a good point there. As Simmering carried and slowed it up, he was looking to deliver it, but I think if Simmering attacks that ball and accelerates forward, he probably stays onside from the referee's perspective. Entry for Mataras. Second half for Hoboken begins with the center forward Joseph Braun still on the bench. Ball for Brady, and that's great range again shown by Zach Simmering. So Simmering just made a long run, and now a recovering defensive play. Rojas, edge of the 18, settles. Patience for Fook Liao, who shoots and tests Poggiogale, and his patience, Poggiogale, remained on his line.
Pause! Don't fuck around!
Brady the ball win. Mohammadi. This ball may die for Jake Longo. He's forced to play it. And Longo in no man's land. Turned it over. Morris looking for the back heel for Torek Robinson. And the save is made. Brian Morris had the perfect idea. Robinson filling the space after the giveaway by Longo. And if that ball is angled just a touch higher towards the top of the 18 by Morris, Robinson is celebrating. Now transition for Sean Fahey. Dimitri Mataris at the top of the box. Halliday looked to volley. Kind of a side volley on the move. Didn't get much on it. And Jordan Williams climbed the ladder, but we have a whistle. Dave Ramo blew the whistle. That's Jordan Williams that is down after trying to collect the ball climbing up on the back of Kevin Halliday. So it's a foul against Hoboken. Robinson, nice ball delivered for Morris, and Longo has to concede a corner. So that's nice transition for Manhattan. So Brady to deliver this ball. 1-0 Hoboken on a goal in the 38th minute from James Reed. So now there's no short options for Brady. Delivers, beat the first defender. Terzer sends it out. Brady, second ball, not as good. Halliday, and he prevented a handball while Kevin Halliday kind of angled his body just enough, despite the yells for the handball. As Bibovic sent it in. Reed with Fahey and plays Fahey in. Fahey first to it. Fahey then well defended again. Jean-Baptiste Thomas Leloup, the center back for Manhattan. And standing tall there, not panicking, not fouling. So a great job there in the 54th minute. As Brady off the entry. And that's just more great work by Zachary Simmering, the left back. Fahey, and a good decision to deal it back. And room for Kevin Bizdek from Wayne, New Jersey. Played at William Patterson College at the D3 level in the NJAC, as there was Fahey played in. Bizdek, and the challenge, a good one. Some of the Hoboken players think expecting a foul as Luther will chase this ball down. Reed, Mataris dispossessed by Rojas and Mohammadi. Chance to move forward with numbers. Nice backside ball, Fook Liao. Liao has Morris running the middle. Liao waits for some more support. Out at the top for Rojas, and that's well defended and anticipated by Kevin Bizdek. And then a wasted follow-up from Chris Wayne Wallace. Well, Bizdek almost daring Liao to deliver that ball for Rojas. Bizdek at William Patterson finished up his career in 2011. Spent his freshman year at York College in Pennsylvania. And he's out of Wayne Valley High School. Halliday. And Halliday a little too handsy on Urim Bibovic. We've played 10 minutes of this second half, and Mohammadi is offside. Much more of an even second half compared to the final 20 minutes of the opening half, where Hoboken really got the better of it, particularly for a segment with James Reed and the high pressure of Hoboken just causing havoc and just having Manhattan be uncomfortable in their defensive third. Mataris and tried to slip in Fahey. Mataris, the return for Fahey, and there's another offside. So Manhattan again can exhale, and Manhattan needing to focus on a nice build-up from the back. They've shown that with Morris and Mohammadi, they can be very dangerous in the open field, but can they find something in the middle of the field to make those two effective? Rojas looks for Brady on a switch. Nice chest down. Bibovic, who dummied it through, looked for Torek Robinson. Morris, I think, wanted the return feed, and here comes Halliday. And Rojas will value some more possession time. Mohammadi makes the run to the corner. He'll get there ahead of Reed. So good range shown by Mohammadi. Morris left it for Liao. Slips a nice ball through to himself, and then an ambitious shot. He did have a runner that he did not see. Substitutions on for Hoboken in the 59th minute. Joseph Braun returns, and so does starting center mid Eric Stahl. And for Manhattan, Tenzin Ugyal back in. He had left the game shaken up in the first half, and their head coach for the first time, Brian Baracaldo, is in. Bizdek. Braun ahead of Wallace. '60th minute for Manhattan, so they have plenty of time, and now with Reed and Braun together up top, we'll see what kind of danger that could possess. But Manhattan has been better in their defensive third in transitioning forward. As Terzer brought it down for Bizdek. Liao will collect with runners sprinting the middle. Fouk Liao, Mohammadi deflects it along. Poggiagale unclean initially before eventually clapping his hands together and squeezing that ball. Nice build-up for Manhattan and Liao. As Simmering releases over the top looking for Reed. And James Reed gathers. The Reeds, second-generation college athletes, both from North Huntington High School in western New Jersey. Mom was a softball player. Dad played football, both at Eastern Kentucky. Brady looked for Baracaldo. Terzer, good first touch. Ugyal tries to recover on him. Eric Terzer across, and he had James Reed. Anything of a touch for Reed, and it's in the back of the goal. Good run from Terzer. This one at the top of the box. Zachary Simmering lets it go. Fine build-up for Hoboken as they look to add to this 1-0 advantage. We're in the 63rd minute. And Williams has mainly played the ball short on his goal kicks. He'll drive it here to alleviate some pressure. Luther climbing over the back of Brady. Ugal delivers, and Mohammadi was bottled up. Follow-up, Baracaldo. And now the left back, Connor Meath, he's switched to that side. Leao will leave it. Baracaldo looking for an option. So a throw for Manhattan. Manhattan had one good restart, about 30 yards out in the first half. That has been it. So credit Hoboken for not fouling in bad spots. And Manhattan has not shown anything in terms of a great thrower. And following the throw, it'll be a goal kick for Poggio Gali. Longo releasing out, and that's a wasted ball to nobody in particular. So the kickers enter in for Mohammadi. Evan Reed, make sure it goes well out past the next field over, with other Cosmopolitan games taking place tonight. Chilly evening here under the RFK Bridge. Great scenery, and the historic Cosmopolitan League, the top elite amateur league in the tri-state area, and showing some of its best clubs tonight. Brady, physical battle, he was able to win that ball and keep it alive ahead of Stahl. Manhattan off these throws have not been able to switch the point of attack yet. They've just worked the ball methodically down the line. They enter in for Morris, and they'll work it a bit deeper. And Mohammadi was hoping for a touch, and instead Manhattan will try to play defense. Quick distribution, Longo. Reed delivers the ball out wide, Simmering. It was a good one. It's a throw for Hoboken. Well, now actually Dave Ramo points the other way. But a nice delivery from James Reed. 66th minute. 1-0 Hoboken FC, 19-12. A 38th minute goal by James Reed, the difference. Hoboken FC trying to become 2-0 as Braun almost got onto that ball off of a turnover, and it's safely in the hands of Williams. And that's similar to the goal that was scored tonight off of a Manhattan turnover. Mohammadi tangled up with Longo. So here is a restart that Manhattan can start to think about getting some numbers forward with. And this will be spotted about 40 yards out. So Brian Baracaldo is going to take it. Service to the 18 for Mohammadi. Well played, Peter Luther. Second ball volleyed. Not a bad one from Tenzin Ugyal. So that's over the bar, and Poggiogali's been a lot busier in the second half. He made 2 really good saves in the first half, including on a ball by Mohammadi that he had to make a one-handed stop on. And that kept it a scoreless game. And sealing his man inside, Jordan Simmering picks up the foul. Evan Reed in the direction of Braun. Braun not as involved in this second half compared to where he was, especially getting a chance to get out into open space in the first half. Reed for Braun. The return for James Reed. Reed out wide, cut it back across, defended well momentarily by Wallace. The slip for Simmering. Zach Simmering then lays it and plays it across, and Williams is there. Reed, just as he stopped, looked to go to the top of the box. He may have had options towards the back post. It's going to be pointed to Hoboken FC. A pretty level second half that turns into the 70th minute. Baracaldo leaves for Morris. And Mohammadi tried to deal it back. Ugyal shows some more good skill. Morris. And the way Manhattan created a couple of their best chances was by switching long balls. They have not done that at all in this second half. Tamas Laloup. Mohammadi able to turn and face. Look to go backside for Fook Liao. Longo tried to extend and go wide side for Jordan Simmering. Toss in now for Manhattan. Wallace, and that time Braun bearing in on him. Liao. And Liao looks across. Here's a chance at a switch. Bibovic at the top for Brady. Kyle Brady. And Brady is fouled. So here is the opportunity for Manhattan. This is a good opportunity from 25 yards out. And some options for service or to strike. And Tenzin Yugyal, who's shown some pretty good skill, he immediately goes over the ball. And it's no coincidence that Manhattan was able to build up off of a good switch from Liao to Urim Bibovic. Yugyal. It was a good rip, good elevated spot, but it's off target. So that comes in the 112th minute.
Sir, he got caught on the ball there. Got caught on the ball and the guy went in on a hard tackle. Let's be brave, right?
Mohammadi looking to poach. Mohammadi then took the shot. He got there ahead of Evan Reed and almost made Hoboken pay. A bouncing ball that Mohamed Mohammadi just read well and had a feel for how that ball was going to spin off the turf. A true poacher's goal nearly developed for Manhattan. And Mohammadi just knocking himself on the head. He knows that was a tremendous chance, as good as he might get in this second half. Mohammadi again with Morris in the middle. Morris able to face up. Leaves for Baracaldo. He takes the shot, and that's not a bad one. It curved wide. There was a tough. So the touch as Baracaldo calmly looked to curve that ball. Didn't miss by much. A corner for Manhattan. And this ball defended well by Eric Stahl. Clearance and then a chance to push forward for Jordan Simmering. And Simmering just crossing the end line. So Manhattan can keep the ball pinned into their offensive third. This is the best momentum they have had the whole second half. Wallace will track it down for Yugyal. So the restart in the 112th minute for Manhattan, representing their latest best chance to tie the game. Baracaldo dummied it along. Mohammadi, it remained in for him. As Mohammadi holds it up. Stall for Bizdek. Right back where it started for Bizdek. Simmering looks around, now sends a nice ball over the top for James Reed. Reed is onside, bears in, takes the shot, and the save made Williams. Reed did not make Williams move. He tried to beat him to the closer post, and James Reed continues to be a threat tonight. A corner in transition for Hoboken after some great ball movement and off-ball movement. And Bizdek's pass through the middle for Simmering eventually sprung James Reed. Wallace, the first defender, was able to defend the corner. As Terzer came down the line, that will be a throw for Manhattan. Hoboken will make a substitute in the 77th minute. As Andrew Ferrier will come on for the first time, replacing James Reed. Aracaldo picking out Liao, and left that pass with not enough air under it. Mohammadi, and look to play Cloud Brady in. Thomas LaLoupe, and Manhattan forced to deal it back through Jordan Williams. Checking back is Liao. Got the ball out wide. Here comes Manhattan. The ball back inside. Looking inside was Daniel Barry for Liao. And it's going to be a corner for Manhattan. Better build up again for Manhattan. And showing great patience. And just as they started to move the ball side to side, someone found a seam, and the pass eventually that saw Daniel Barry make the long run on. Reed dominant in the air on the head ball again. Zach Simmering looks for the clearance up the line, and it's off of Manhattan. Hoboken the 1-0 lead. We're into the 79th minute. Jordan Simmering waits for his twin brother Zach. Jordan Simmering then kept the dribble. Stahl will show patience and play it wide. Longo just says, let's restart. And the reset goes to Reed. The lead in the 80th minute for Hoboken. Trying to move to 2-0, and a long through ball sent ahead for Braun. Braun bears in, getting wide, then plays it across, and Williams has it. Eric Stahl played Braun in nearly perfectly, but the first touch by Joseph Braun just carried him a little too far wide. Meath to find Brian Morris checking back. Baracaldo. And Brady might have telegraphed it, looking for Morris. And the offside flag up again. Zach Simmering trying to play Jordan Simmering forward. Well, both Simmerings have found the ability to just zoom forward with well-timed runs. Just a couple of them, though, have been called offside, and it's always difficult for the center referee to look behind him to make that judgment call in a two-referee system. Liao. Baracaldo picks out a nice ball out wide for Bibovic. Morris trying to gain an edge into the area. Bibovic, ball to the top. Luther, partial clear. Ugyal possessing. 82nd minute. Jean-Baptiste Thomas Leloup. As he looks to the backside, Liao in the air. Terzer was in position defensively. There was no touch. A goal kick for Poggio Gale. Poggio Gale looked for Braun at midfield. As that ball kind of came up onto the shoulder of Ferrier, and he's the one fouled. So Hoboken now can get Braun into the box and use him as a target man from this distance at midfield. Reed goes that way. Braun does get in the air. And Thomas Leloup out to midfield. Morris, good touch for Baracaldo. We'll get substitutions now on for Hoboken. In the 84th minute, returning is Dimitri Mataras. And then we'll see Aitor Hernandez in a moment. Wallace, that's Meath, the left back. Manhattan pressing for the equalizer. Baracaldo, service in, again Evan Reed. Liao winning it. Manhattan has been able to be in a much more attacking mindset in this second half that they're spending so much time trying to build up in the defensive third in the first half. Mohammadi, good ball for Wallace. Liao. And Liao, the challenge. Luther commits the foul. So this is another good area, the range for Brian Baracaldo, the head coach and left-footed player in the middle of the field for Manhattan. And he has shown that his touches, he's got pretty good precision when he has room and time. So Baracaldo in the 85th. Delivers in. Poggio Gale climbs the ladder. That's exactly where that ball needed to be, maybe just a touch further out for Baracaldo. But that just causes enough stress on Tyler Poggio Gale where any fumble and the ball can be in the back of the goal. So Poggio Gale a little slow to get up, as Manhattan will make a substitution. They get Brett Rojas back in, and Kyle Brady, who had a good night tonight on the field, heads off. Luther. Jordan Simmering waits. Here's Zach Simmering, the twin brothers from Scotch Plains. Mataris surveys his options. Will go to Terzer. Bizdek and Hoboken handling the stress of the ball in their defensive third well. And now Braun plays the ball ahead for Jordan Simmering. Simmering got an angle, and that ball will be off of Manhattan. And here comes a corner. So we will get into the 88th minute with Hoboken protecting the 1-0 lead that they've had since the 38th minute on a James Reed goal. So Hoboken's going to take their time. They have a substitute waiting at the table as well. Simmering plays it in. It's deflected in. Peter Luther. And that should ice it. Zachary Simmering with the left-footed in-swinger put it in an impossible area to the near post just in front of Williams, and Luther does the rest. So Peter Luther with his first goal of this fall season comes in the 88th minute, and Hoboken clinical on the finish, and they're going to move to 2-0 in the season. Just terrific was the head ball by Peter Luther. And Manhattan spending nearly the duration of this second half looking for the equalizer. Not much in terms of grade A opportunities, but some extended possession time. Hoboken never broke down or committed the big mental error or a physical foul somewhere that could have been devastating. The one foul committed, ironically, by Peter Luther was in a bad spot, but the shot was off target by Tenzin Ugyal about midway through the second half. So Hoboken looking for the shutout. And they will be 7-0 in goal differential through 2 games. So for Steve Korfiatis, it cannot go much better. And they were tested tonight. And in the second half, after they had the better of it largely for the first half, 90th minute, Tyler Pogiogali had made one key save in the first half on Mohamed Mohammadi. So he did his job. Hernandez, Aitor Hernandez just coming in. Now a shot from the outside. This one deflecting, and it's offside. Well, the Simmerings, to cap off a great night, just connected on a goal that does not stand, but it was still a terrific ball that was played in. That was finished for Zach Simmering. Here's Mohammadi. Rojas for Daniel Barry. Luther in the air. Liao was looking to settle. And eventually the clearance. As we are in the final seconds, according to my time, center referee does have the official game clock. Luther charging ahead. Then he is yanked down by the jersey. No call. Up the line for Terzer, who sends it in, looking for kind of the half bicycle was Luther, and then this is a blast coming by Zachary Simring, and that is well out of range. The whistle should be coming up any second now. What a thought there from Peter Luther after being yanked down, kind of almost horse collared down. With no call, stayed with it, and inside the box was almost rewarded for it by going for that bicycle. Biznek, Aitor Hernandez. Then the chip there, Aitor Hernandez. And that is icing on the cake for Hoboken FC. Hernandez making it 3-0, a goal in the 90th minute. And he shows nice touch and flair for the player that is spending time here in the fall working as an au pair. When he has a break from working, he is finishing. There's the final whistle. Satisfying victory for Hoboken, who is now 2-0, including 8-0 in goal differential in the Cosmopolitan Division I Fall League. Reed in the 38th, Peter Luther. The insurance from Zach Simring on a head ball in the 88th minute, and then Aitor Hernandez, his second goal in 2 games. Hernandez in the 90th. 3-0 is the final for our entire crew here. For Neri Amadushi and all of us here with Coach's Corner NYC, we say so long and good night from Randall's Island, Field 70. Hoboken 3-0 over Manhattan. Good night, everybody.